Okay, hey y'all, I'm back. Did any better? If not, I'm just gonna leave it be. So let me refresh this. If y'all are on and you're seeing this live, feel free to comment, say hey, let me know you're here. And then if you're watching the replay, let me know. Usually I do something different. I don't always do like hashtag replay. So maybe let me know if you're ready for Christmas. If you're ready and you're excited, comment, hey, I'm so excited for Christmas. If you're like, I haven't done anything, didn't realize Christmas was so close away, say, I'm not ready at all. All right, yes, that is better. Okay, perfect. Ignore my, the messy garage. There's tons of mess everywhere. You can see the kids' bikes, all the fun stuff. But I just wanted to be out here because I'm going to have lots of different tools, lots of different things, and that way it's a little easier. So this is what the finished tray looks like. We have another one over here that's unfinished. I'm just kind of gonna jump right in it. If you guys hop on, if you would share for me, please. I'm sure this will be a really hot project for this year. So the more we share, the more everybody can make them. So this is what it looks like completely finished. So I've got, of course, the stencils we used all cut up. You can buy the stencil that comes with it too. And you can see we've used them already. And you can see they look brand new. You can see a little bit of staining from the paint. So that's about where we laid them out. The cool thing about this is the stencil itself will come with an extra cookie one. So there's two versions. Here is our favorite cookie. So if you have more than one kiddo, this would work. If you only have one child, there's a different version that says, here is my favorite cookie. So that way you can also customize it. Like I said, if y'all have businesses, I know a lot of y'all follow me and y'all have, I know some of y'all have studios where you do workshops and things like that. Hey Cheryl, awesome. I am not ready. Me and my family have not done anything for Christmas. I don't do Christmas shopping early or anything like that. So I am not prepared. I usually wait until the very end. I'm a huge procrastinator. So anyways, I'm going to kind of go step by step. So of course we have the stencil. I'm going to move that over to the side so it doesn't get any dust or dirt onto it. I used the French Chic Lazy Range. The Lazy Range has a wax built into it. I just find that it's easier to apply. Since it's water-based, works perfectly for the stencils, washes out super easy. And if I wanted to, I could leave it this way and it would be perfectly fine. Like all of this won't come off because of the wax that's built into here. But I am gonna take them a step further and I'm gonna use the finishing coat. So I will go over it with the finishing coat a couple of times. It's a clear coat, so it looks white, but once you paint it and it dries, it's a clear coat that kind of keeps everything waterproof and protected and all the fun things. So there's kind of how I did it once I had it. I'm trying to look for a clean spot. My garage is a hot mess. Okay, so I just kind of want to give you all a rough idea of what, once you have a tray made, the ideas. You can do whatever you want on the trays, really, once you're done with them. These are super simple to make. We'll go over it step by step, but once you've got the middle, you can, maybe stain these, paint in here. You can put whatever design. If you want a farmhouse design, whatever it is you want, you can throw it in here and it's gonna work. So there's that. So we kind of started out with prototypes. So this is what we were doing first, was making them first and then painting, staining them afterwards. I don't really like that plan because of the fact that if something goes wrong, you have to paint and stain this way. Like you have to paint and stain around the handles. Like for that one, I took the handle off really quickly and stained it. So this one will be the only other one that we put together before it's stained. So I would recommend with your pieces, you'll want to stain them, paint them, whatever you're going to do to them, you want to get that done first. So I'm going to show you how to do it without being stained. mainly because it is like 40 degrees out here and I am freezing. The heater, and I'm wearing flip-flops. I'm wearing my husband's flip-flops because I can't find mine. But I'm freezing, absolutely freezing out here. So I'm like, I'm gonna hurry this along and we'll go from there. Okay, so hopefully, I don't know, I can't see this on my end, so I'm hoping, is this still going? Can somebody leave me a comment and let me know? I can't see anything really. I'm gonna come over to my phone real quick and look at it. Okay, I see a bunch on there. For whatever reason, I'm not seeing anything on my computer, so. All right, I will probably have to reply to any comments later. Okay, all right. Well, I'm still under, thought I brought a pencil out here. I'm always just never prepared. But that's all right, we'll get it going. Okay, good. Okay, so this is a box my husband made for me. So I want to, for those of you that have a business, if you were going to be making, let's say, I estimate I'll probably make 50 to 60 of these throughout the winter. So, before Christmas gets here, they're going to be like bang, bang, bang. So I want to make it quickly. I want to be able to stain it. So let me talk to y'all about staining real quick, and then we'll talk about everything else. So I use Unicorn Spit. It's a gel stain. There are so many ways to use this. I've showed y'all how to use, you can use this to make your own chalk paste. So for those of you that have been with other like direct sales companies that sell chalk paste, you can make your own and then have your own stencils, and you don't need a direct sales company at all. So what I did for this color is actually pre-mix some colors. So the way that her name is Michelle, but the way she kind of recommends is you have to wet your surface because these are like water activated almost. But so instead of wetting the wood, I pre-mix it with a little bit of water. And so this will take, I think this is a 4 ounce. So this is 4 ounces. So it'll spread out the usage a little bit more. So to make that color, I mixed, so it was mainly the light brown. I put like 4 drops of the black and then about 3 drops of the red because I wanted it to kind of look like a deep redwood. So I have that already mixed in a bowl. And then I just, I stained it like I usually would. So if y'all have never stained, I might do another video. I have a video of me staining. I just take like a rag, dip it in, and I just go with the grain and then I wipe off the excess, and then it'll pick up the grain marks and all that stuff. So you can use whichever one, and I have a affiliate link with them. I can post down below when I'm done. But you can use whatever gel stain that works for you. I just really love these gel stains. And I've had really good experiences with it. It dries quickly, it sets fast. Like, I can't say enough good things about them. Okay, for whatever reason, I'm still not seeing anything on this end. So again, if y'all have any questions, I will answer them here in a little bit. So what I did was, this is basics of the tray. So these are 18 inches long by 12 inches wide. So we only have one small saw and it's on a stand. It's not gonna do long pieces. We don't have a table saw yet. So what I did was, and maple is expensive. I probably will not stick to maple. It looks pretty, but you can get like white plywood that looks very similar and has the same durability for like 1/3 of the cost. I was just like, oh, I think this would be super pretty. And I was in my like, not worrying about business and costs and stuff like that. So these first probably 6 to 10 trays are gonna be double or triple the amount because I used maple. So what I did is, they come in, you can get, even in the plywood, even in the maple, you can get birch, you can kind of get oak, you can get whatever you want. They come in 4 foot wide by 8 foot boards. Now, obviously I can't cut that here at home by myself. Even if my husband's here, we're not gonna be able to cut it. So what I had them do was cut it for me. So they cut it in half, and then they cut the half, the like 4 foot by 4 foot sections. They cut those in 12 foot wide pieces. So essentially I came home with 4 foot long by 12 inches wide pieces. Some of them are a little off, but it's not the end of the world. It still fit in this little box, and I'll get to the little box here in a second. So if you don't have anything but a small saw and you can only cut like maybe 10 to 12 inches long, that's what I would recommend. Have Home Depot, have Lowe's cut it for you. Mine don't charge me to cut more than 2 times. I know there's always a sign that says more than 2 cuts, you get a 25% charge. But still, if they charge you 25 cents, it's not gonna make or break your profit on this. So have them cut it for you. So that means we came home with 8 4 foot by 12 foot, and we were able to get 2 trays out of each one of those cuts. So that means we got 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 16 trays out of that one piece of wood. So these are then same wood. We stuck to the same wood that we had here. These are 2 inches thick, and the wood is 1/2 inch thick. So total on the side, you're gonna have an inch thick, and then this will be 1/2 inch. So you can cut these however you want. The stencil is only 12 inches wide. And really, if you look at it, you didn't need 12 inches, but I spaced it out some more. And actually this is 14 inches because the total is 18 inches. This inside here is 14 inches. So if you wanted to do like a 3-inch, maybe border on the side, you totally could. You could do whatever you want. You could do an inch border, but you just have to kind of factor in whatever handles you get, need to kind of center on those. So for handles, I got these from Lowe's. So they're Allen and Roth. They were, I think, just over $1. They come in this one, and they come in silver that's on this tray. Let me show you. So they come in the black and silver, and they have like a hammered effect on. But like I said, they come with nails. The silver, for whatever reason, the nails are like a 1/4 inch shorter than the black ones, and they don't work. So if you do get silver, keep in mind you're gonna need to buy longer screws for the silver ones. All right, so let's get into building it because it's super easy to build. So if you're at home, what I would recommend, if you're doing this for you and you're not building it as a business, this whole box thing down here is not necessary. Just cut out your wood. Then I'm not gonna assemble this because like I said, I wanna stain these first before I assemble. So keep in mind, it's gonna be way, way easier if these are sanded and stained, and they don't have to be real sanded down, but you see from when you cut, you need to go through and lightly sand that out, then stain it, then assemble it. And you can assemble it and stain it if you want to. I just find that it's easier this way because the first 2 trays we didn't do that way, and it was kind of a nightmare. So if you're doing this at home, what I would recommend is take some wood glue, and all you need is like a line about like that. And like I said, I'm not assembling it for real today. So you would then line it up with your edges, and then take a couple of clamps. So these are the ones that my husband has, and I'm like, I don't really know if I know how to use these or not. And you would slide it over the edge. Am I tightening or, there we go. And then you would just tighten it down. There's better clamps or easier clamps to use, but this is just an example. Hopefully y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see that. So clamp, you probably should have 2 clamps like this, or at least that's what I would recommend. So I would do 2 clamps. Make sure that, because the glue is gonna make it move, so make sure that you're lining. Let me see if I can come back over. So this one's a little off, so I'm just gonna kind of push it. And that's what I would do with my glue. I'd push it, I would tighten this up, and then what I would do is I have a rag, because sometimes you'll get glue, sometimes you'll get glue that comes out. So I've got a rag handy. if I see any glue that escaped, I would take my nail and I would just kind of do that thing, make sure there's no glue anywhere. That's why you don't want to use too much glue. And then once you've got that going, do the other side, let it dry. With it being cold, I would just be safe and say let it dry overnight. Then you can come back on and stick you forever. I mean, think about it. If I had to sit and glue and clamp and set them all out overnight, that would take way too long. So he built me the box. So what he did was, this is just a piece of MDF, and funny enough, he was like, it has holes, but it will work. Holes came out real handy because one of them got stuck inside here, so we were able to like flip it over and push it through with the hole. But he let my son drill these holes out to try things out. So what he did was he laid one of our bottom pieces in there, and then he built like a box around it. So for me, it'll be super easy. I put my stained pieces of wood in there. I would glue, just like I did the other one. So I'd put some glue on there. I would line up. He made sure it was all square. Like he had an orange level square thing. I don't know tools. I'm not a tool person. And so he made it to where I can push it up in there and it's completely square. So I would do the same thing here. Put some glue on it, pop it in this box. So all he did was he put the wood and he built the frame around this piece of wood. And we know that all the other pieces are gonna be 12 by 18 or at least be in that range. And so far all the pieces of wood that we've cut have fit in here. And then he put the MDF on the bottom just so it would give a flat surface and we knew there wouldn't be any problems. But then he went a step further for me and made this incredibly nifty tool, which I'm telling y'all, he's amazing. And so you see it says top. So he made this, so this is like a piece of metal sheeting that he cut. Let me see what exactly it's called. So this is an aluminum flat, and it says Hillman Group. And it says 116 by 1 1.5. So it's basically 4 feet long. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, or if anybody wants to try it. So he got this, basically put it in here, folded it with some metal folding shear things, and then again pushed all the way down and folded that. So the way I can do this now, which I think this board, because this one's already marked, I think it goes this way. So the way I do this now is I push this down in there, I center it on the board. So this board, you center it. So if you look, it's in the middle of the board. And then, so imagine these are already glued down. Then I have this, I take a pencil, I mark my little holes and I pull this up. Then I come over here, do the same thing, I'm gonna center it. And then I mark my holes. Then, what we'll do, and I'm using power tools with y'all, this is so scary. Hey Susan, oh look, I can see comments once in a while. I don't know what's up with my Facebook. Oh, it's probably because the Wi-Fi isn't reaching out here. I should have hotspotted it on my phone. So I would recommend, especially if you're gonna do a bunch of these, get a little small drill bit. You can see it's not too big. I would recommend getting one, and then this way you can pre-drill your holes, and then you can put in your hardware. Let me see if I can open these. I'm not gonna put it in, but I just kind of want y'all to see what it looks like. Now keep in mind, if you don't use the same hardware, that this is gonna be a little differently for you. So this hardware has holes up top that the screws sit in on top. Now, if you buy hardware that screws in from the bottom, you're gonna have to make sure the screw is gonna go all the way through the whole inch. That's the only reason why I bought this hardware. that has the holes up at the top. But also too, these are long enough that it's gonna go through about 1/4 inch of the second board. So it's gonna keep it in nice and tight. So kind of what I do is I make sure my marks look good because, oh, that I forgot to mention too. He drilled these holes in here with my handles because both of them have the same distance. So that's how I know when I use this and I mark it that it's gonna be the same width. So I forgot to mention he did that as well. But I always like double check, make sure it's right, make sure it's right. So those are right. Now you take this, I'm gonna make sure it's lined up because I might drill through that second piece of wood. So I just kind of want to make sure it's lined up. And then you go to your little hole. Y'all, I'm so nervous about using power tools with y'all, but y'all trust me, right? Okay, and that's all you do. And you see it goes through barely on that side. If you wanted to go through a little bit more, you can. But think about it, at this point, because I've kind of done this as a mock setup, that you'll have glue down there. And so you don't want to be picking your piece up. So you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you've kind of got a hand down here and you're drilling. And then you'll put your hardware on. I have a second drill. So he's got 2 of these. One of them's got the drill bit. One of them's got the screw head bit that you need. And so then you'll take your screw guy, screw in both of those. You'll flip it around. You'll do the same thing on this side. And then when you're done, the cool thing about it is once you're finished with it, you can pull one of the handles and the tray will just pop out. But since it's not completely done, it's not gonna look as cool. Like I said, I wanted to stain it first and I wanted to make this kind of a short video, so I didn't stain it on the video. So basically you'll pull out, just kind of imagine you'll have your handle here, you pull it out, and then tray done. You can go to stenciling and things like that. So the really cool thing about this is that you've got the basics. This can be done with any size board. You can do, longer, wider, shorter, whatever you want to do. You could even do, like if you wanted to make like a frame, but you know how normal farmhouse frames are like this with shorter frames? You could then go like this. I don't know where, I don't have 2 other pieces, but you can even maybe frame a board like that. So there's just a couple of ideas. Hopefully this gives y'all a rough idea and maybe some ideas on your own. But if y'all have any questions, let me know. I definitely want to go through and answer on Facebook as well. I'm so sorry I couldn't see comments, but hopefully this helps. I can't wait to see what y'all come up with. Please share them on our page. Please share this for us as well. And let me know if y'all have any other questions. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.